Hey, Greg Nelson here. I appreciate that you're taking the time to read this book. This book is dedicated to my two children. The both of you are the light of my life and the beat of my heart. I started my first business when I was 13 years old, and over the past 3 decades, I've worked successfully in business and sales for companies big and small. I've owned a couple businesses, and I've also been an employee. Regardless, you really can get what it is that you want out of business or life. There are tried and true processes, steps, or formulas that I've been taught. I've applied it into my life, and I still do today. And you know what? They absolutely work. I was asked that once I figured it out and found success, to pass along the teachings, and so the creation of this book. Hey, please keep in mind, these ideas shared in this book are those that I've acquired by others who have come before me, coupled up with my own life's experiences. I've analyzed these teachings that I have learned over the past years and broke it all down and developed a process that is so simple to learn. And each chapter is a step in that process. I not only use this process in my life, I have taught this to sales professionals in business as well. And without a doubt, it absolutely works. If you apply these teachings and commit to the process, you will find success and you will be able to get what it is you really want out of life. You've probably picked up this book because the title intrigued you. So what is it that you really want? Is it a new car, a new truck, a dream home, landing that new job, or starting your own business? It all starts with what it is that you absolutely want. If you're in business now, it's gaining more clients to turn into customers, or maybe landing a major project with an existing client, or hitting that new higher target or those new long-term sales goals. After reading this book, if you would like to learn more about applying these strategies into your own life, hey, reach out to me at thehardknockstate.com. In addition, you can also check out my YouTube channel, Greg Nelson at The Hard Knock State, and I put out a bunch of these videos teaching and going into depth about how to use and apply these steps. If you know anyone that could find this information beneficial in their life, please share it with them, because together we can make the world even a better place than it is now if we're all vibrating on just a little bit higher of a frequency. Once you know what it is that you absolutely want, close your eyes and see yourself reaping the benefits of hitting this goal. Maybe your goal is getting that house or car. Really try to put yourself right there in that situation. Do you got it in the memory bank? Good. Now write it down, because goals are more important than you think. And we'll be covering this area a lot. Don't worry, goals are fun, or at least I'll make them fun or relaxing. But to me, relaxing is fun. But the real reason why we feel setting goals is cumbersome is because we had never allowed that goal, dream, or vision from becoming anything more than just a wish. Or if we tried to go after it once in the past, we failed. Normally this happens somewhere between the 1st of January and the end of February. I'm willing to bet that all the dead or failed New Year's resolutions failed because they were never committed to writing. What are we going to be covering? We're going to first start by understanding who we are, who I am, and who you are. Understanding who we currently are versus who we thought we were going to be as kids, and why we're not there yet, and if we could, would we still want to be that? Next, we'll dive right into what it is that you really want. Why did you pick up this book? What wishes never come to fruition, and how making up your mind that you're going after what it is that you absolutely want. We'll then venture into our past once more, and we'll learn to forget the past and how to commit to our goals. And you'll learn immediately how to start applying the actions needed to achieve those goals, and how to get your personal finances right if yours isn't already. Getting your personal finances right will make hitting your goals easier and will allow you to set bigger goals. And then we'll go over how to maintain the right mindset and the stamina, the hard knock state grit development formula that will be required to hit your goals and to do whatever you need to do to overcome the roadblocks, the walls, the barriers that life is going to throw at us and keep us from breaking through to victory. Finally, I could taste the blood in my mouth. Victory is ours. Mission accomplished and goals have been met. But is the mission really ever accomplished? Chapter 1. Who are you exactly? This is where we start. It's where we all started. We all at one point had a mother, and whether you were raised by your mother or not, you're right here where you're at today, and you wouldn't be here without her. But regardless, if you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, most of us are where we are at today has more to do with our past conditioning and our upbringing than anything else. And I'm sure you're saying that you've heard this all before. I understand, and I know that life up to this point may have been extremely difficult, and you might currently be at the end of your rope. It's okay. And I'm sure that you've done the best you could do with the tools that you had available and the knowledge that you had available up until now. Your knowledge and awareness will only increase after you finish reading this book. I've been at the end of my rope more times than I could care to admit. But I too, at the time, didn't understand this information that you'll find in this book. You're probably saying to yourself, didn't he say in the preference that he's been in business since he was 13? Yes, that is true. And I was even introduced to some of these teachings when I was an older teenager. However, it wasn't up until almost a little bit over a decade ago where I really started to understand that the way I was thinking and going about things just wasn't working. And not only was it not working, but I needed to change it immediately, or I'd be in jeopardy of losing my home, my family, my life. Quite honestly, my biggest regret is that I wasn't mature enough to understand, comprehend, and apply these teachings into my life sooner. I know that if I had, my family and I would be miles ahead of where we are at currently right now. And right now is far from bad. Do you remember the scene in the Jordan Belfort movie, The Wolf of Wall Street? When he's speaking to his stockbrokers before the IPO trading day and he says, "There's no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man, and I choose rich every time." This statement is absolutely the truth, as Jordan goes on to telling the Stratonites that their newly acquired success would do more good for society than if one tried to do good things while being poor. When you're poor, and I have been both at the bottom and have reveled in success, you got to know it all comes down to achieving your goals. And with the more money, obstacles just get out of your way easier and quicker, and you can do more good. Instead of helping yourself and your family, you can also extend your goodwill to help those less fortunate in your community, city, state, hell, the whole nation, or the world, if that's what you want to do. Let's keep on this track. It's about what you want, and it may not be money. It could just be able to go through life happier than what you currently are. Whether you like the Jordan Belfort movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, or not, he and his teachings, the same ones that he taught his Stratonites, still to this day. And it's a major portion to the success that I've had that helped shape my career in sales and closing, especially over the phone. In addition to Jordan, the other teachers who I've studied and incorporated their teachings into my life are the late and great Dr. Wayne Dyer, My uncle first introduced me to Dr. Dyer via a PBS telethon show when I was about 18 or 19 years old, and I followed Dr. Dyer ever since. The recent late and great Bob Proctor. I knew of Bob being of a motivational speaker, but never really dove into his teachings up until about, the past 6, 7 years ago. I did read the book The Secret when it came out and watched the movie too many times. Yeah, the teacher never really appears until the student is ready. At any rate, I ended up buying Bob's You Were Born Rich MP3 audio seminar. I'm so glad I bought that audiobook seminar. I continue to listen to that You Were Born Rich seminar today. And most recently, listened to the entire seminar, almost clocking in at 11 hours straight.